Dodge whatever's in there. It's big and it's moving fast. Drive. Go. Go, go, go. Look out! Guys, you gotta get out of here. Do you hear me? It's Tyler Owens. Calls himself the Tornado Wrangler. If you feel it, chase it! I said if you feel it, chase it! All right, here we go. Oh, she's perfect!
She's gorgeous.
You thought you could destroy a tornado.
We never had a chance.
You want one? You don't face your fears. You ride them.
We got twins! Twins!
Was that it?
Nope.
Oh, bovine, and welcome to the periodic table of awesome. It's gonna be a wonderful night to review movies.
Hang on. Sorry. Did I just see a cow go by?
Yeah, that was my cousin. He got his big start in this. Yes, it's. You may wonder why I'm looking a little different tonight. That's because I'm going for a part in Twisters 3 or Twisters. Anyway, it's called. It's called.
Yes.
It's called Utah Drift, and I'm going to be in it. Oh dear. Hello. Yes, it's the.
Hang on.
periodic table of awesome.
There's a cow in here. Oh no.
No,
Sorry,
there's another
same
cow.
cow.
Same cow. Yeah. Hi. How you going? I know I look a little different, but that's okay because we're talking about what are we talking about tonight?
Twisters.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's very exciting.
Yep. Have no fear. I'm not one of those cows with guns. I'm not from America. Yeah.
Wow.
What? I've run out of jokes, and as you said earlier, Quinny, I can't milk it any further. Oh dear.
I love that you actually gave credit.
Yes, I have given credit to this. Yeah, now I'm done. I've got nothing else.
That's it's him for the whole show. So that means that the rest of us have to pick up our end of the bargain and stop looking at the animated cow.
Yeah.
And talk about this film. So yes, we are of course talking about the new release of last week, the big action extravaganza kind of. Following on from a movie that came out 28 years ago.
Wait, hang on. That doesn't make me a. Oh, God damn it! There's no chicken. Okay, I was gonna. It doesn't make us a spring chicken, but I can't help that. The only thing I can do is go to maybe just make myself into a brown cow. How now, brown cow?
Oh, good.
But that doesn't actually technically match because the cow in the film was a black and white cow.
It was yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Little
And once again, for all of our podcast
apologies
listeners,
to the ear attendees of this who have absolutely no idea what this prolonged visual joke is doing.
Dion is an animated cow.
But did you know that
you need the eye version? I'm sure you can find it on the online.
Yeah. If you're having trouble visualizing it, just go to the YouTube or Twitch.
Yes.
I wouldn't go out of your way for this specific gag, though.
Oh, come on!
Hey, look. They could also go there for the protracted looks at Jill's beautiful face, Peter's beautiful face, and me.
Yeah.
All worth it.
All worth it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, this is the best visual effects that a bog standard default Avatar can provide on any program that we've got. So, we spared no expense.
Yes.
Well, that was the other movie that got compared
How
to
very
around
Michael
the same
Crichton
time.
of you.
Yes, how very. Well, I mean, what are we talking? We're talking about Twisters, aren't we? The new
Yes.
one, the sequel that we
No.
around
No.
to.
Yeah.
Or do we
Not a
talk about
sequel.
is it though?
Vague follow-up.
It's not. It's not. It's
Vague.
not even a follow-up. It's a complete retelling of the original story.
It's in the same world.
That's
In the
terrifying.
same world.
Do you know why?
There is one item that was
That
in the
does
first
place
film
it.
that is very old in the second film, so it is intending to be in the same world.
I'm going to say
I look at this as being almost like The Force Awakens in the sense that it's meant to be a sequel. It's meant to continue the story on, but it's the same fucking film.
I actually disagree on multiple levels, which we will discuss in detail.
yeah.
I'm just amazing.
I'm just going to say the cursed monkey paw closes another finger as Twisters gets released. I mean, that's how I look at it. It's like yet another one. Dear. Yes.
Yeah.
Who someone said it? It came out 28 years ago.
Yeah, 1996.
1996. It's
Now.
taken us this long to get to the sequel, and it's not a sequel. I know you said that, and I mean I understand how weird it is for the cow to be talking straight here, but
Yeah. No, I actually kind of like it. I can take the cow more seriously than I can take you usually. So
fuck, fair cop. Yeah, I sound smarter, don't I? When I look like a cow.
I don't know why.
But yes, this one is I don't know. How do we get here? Does anyone know how we actually got to Twisters? Not how we got here, but how do we get to Twisters? Because Twister was such a great box office smash. And let me tell you, I went back and I had a look at all the films that got released from 1996 and disaster ones, and all the top ones. All of them got sequels within, except for Titanic.
I don't know where you go from this.
All of them got sequels, except for Twisters and Titanic. And I'm just kind of like...
One of those has a reasonable explanation. And I would argue that Twister isn't a disaster film. I would argue that Twister is a creature feature.
Yeah,
which
And
is
it- as a creature feature, it's really quite good.
It is.
Which I've got to say, like, even if that's the case, it's even more worthy of a sequel if you want to treat this as a creature feature.
I
Yeah.
feel like to an extent there was probably an awareness that you couldn't really take that particular creature much further than they took it in that movie.
Could have had a Freddy versus Twister, or a Freddy versus Jason versus Twister,
Twister
or
versus Godzilla, Twister versus
Twister
Godzilla versus Kong.
Halloween Twister.
I mean, like, if you look at the thing, it's kind of been in development for getting a Twister sequel for such a long time, but it was Helen Hunt expressing interest in developing a sequel in 2021, where she was writing and directing it, which they were all like, no. And we got this instead.
I'm trying to find it, but it looks like there was like a shitty, probably not legal film that came out called Twister 2, The Terror Continues, that came out from Good Times Home Video in 1996. So now I'm like, I need to find that and watch that piece of shit.
You can't reference stuff like that and Asylum films as pure sequels to things, Quinny. If that were the case, then you'd have to acknowledge Twitter as a source of actual truth.
I mean, there are enough examples of it existing on the internet around that if you wanted to, you could find this fucking awful looking film. It does look really, really shit. So don't do that. This came about in 2022, where somebody was like, "Yeah, let's, what do you need? We need another film. What haven't we tapped? I know, Twister. Let's do that again."
I mean, Glenn
Let's
Powell's
twist
doing
again.
a lot at the moment.
Oh my goodness, to be Glenn Powell's agent, that person must be raking it in. They're like, let's get you in everything. They're just ramping it up till he's in a Marvel film, I swear to God.
Oh God, who would he play?
I mean, where did
Oh
Glenn?
no.
Booster Gold. Oh no, wait, that's already taken.
That's,
That's
no.
DC.
DC, but whatever.
He can play the Sentry.
I
I know.
think
Look,
there is already somebody cast
we're
to
not
do
going.
that.
I
but
just
anyway.
don't. I just don't know where Glenn Powell came from. Like Glenn Powell was nowhere, and then he became friends with Tom Cruise, and now he's in everything.
Yeah,
That's the power of Scientology.
it really is.
I'm not commenting on that for concern about Scientologists.
So, sorry, there's a little thing here. I'm just reading a little bit about the development of the film, and at one version of the film was going to be the daughter of Bill Paxton's character. That is not a
Okay.
thing that happens. But then one version of the film incorporates climate change into the plot. And this version,
That would have been rational.
yes,
They really danced away from it in this version.
fucking oath. This was like, would we talk about climate dancing? Bear? Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just spun around.
Climate
Actually,
in the what now?
wait, before we get too far, what's Twisters all about?
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah.
A little bit of music for you, Quinny.
Thank you. I would love that. Shit accent. Where do you want it? Where do you want it?
Give us Oklahoma Yoke.
Yes, yeah. Well, good old boys, haunted by a devastating encounter with a tornado, Kate Cooper gets lured back into the open plains by her friend Javi to test a groundbreaking new tracking system. She soon crosses paths with Tyler Owens, a charming but reckless social media superstar. He's on the YouTubes, who thrives on posting his storm-chasing adventures. As storm season intensifies, Kate, Tyler, and their competing teams find themselves in a fight for their lives as multiple systems converge over central Oklahoma. Oklahoma,
Let's
where the
twist
wind
again.
comes knocking you all over the
Like
place.
we did last year.
I was really trying not to
There
get
we
that in
go.
my head tonight.
Which one? Twister?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
My
dear.
apologies.
Well, I started in Oklahoma and now I'm here, getting spun around. Look, if there's one thing I can say that I really liked about Twisters is that it made me go back and watch Twister,
Yeah.
and that made me happy going back and
Yeah.
watching Twister.
Yeah, we
This
all
has been an
rewatched Twister.
experience.
Yes.
This has been an interesting. I feel like this is a really, really interesting study in storytelling and what we can do effectively and ineffectively with the same ingredients in a story. Let's
The
discuss.
exact same ingredients.
Well, the same, but like
Names
changed in a
have been
way that doesn't
changed.
make it better.
No. To protect the innocent? I don't know.
Oh, come on, Pete.
What
What
do
was
you
any
wanna do
any
first?
resemblances
Do
to
you wanna-
people living or dead are purely coincidental.
Any resemblances to the previous film are fully intentional and very, very
What's-
distinct.
Very, very obvious,
What was-
except for the ones that you really want, and those ones aren't there.
What was
The
your?
first thing that struck me about Twisters.
I said, what was?
Please, Peter.
What was your DVD cover review that you said in like
Yeah.
as you walked out of Twisters, Peter?
I remember, was it really clever?
Zero flying cows, no stars.
Yes, that's true.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I adapted that when I went home and immediately rewatched the film because I was cranky. To Zero Flying Cows, Zero Evil Wesley. Zero
Yes.
stars.
Yeah. Welcome to Peter's TED Talk on why Twisters is terrible.
Like we knew that we'd hit a nerve where after watching the film, we kind of went home and then like an hour and a half later, Peter's like, well, the first one's better. And then a little bit after that, she's like,
And then
and
this
this.
messaged bomb for 2
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. Then there was just like this constant stream of Twister vitriol, I guess. No,
The what?
Twister's vitriol. Sorry.
Well, look, I
Twister.
watched Twister last night, the original Twister last
Mhm.
night, and taking Peter's perspective that it is a monster movie, it definitely reads that way. It's not
God,
like
yeah.
a natural disaster thing. It's
No.
like there
Yeah.
are tornadoes and they're indiscriminately targeting people in Oklahoma and destroying their property.
Yeah. And it is fuck these 3 farms in particular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And particularly Helen Hunt's like extended family seemed to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
tornado bait. And
Yeah.
that's kind of fun.
As a monster movie,
Yeah.
it's good.
It
Yeah.
works. It
Like
does work very much. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! The twister got it.
storytelling is clean. Oh, am I gone?
No,
No,
you're
you're
back
back, you're
now.
back,
But
you're
we lost you for a second.
Oh, God, like a text message came in. I must have just enough internet for this stream and nothing else.
God. So sorry. What were you saying?
Well, my first thought about twisters was before the movie even started, which was, but Twister has multiple twisters. I wonder
Yeah.
if this is going to really up the game on like the number of concurrent twisters that are happening, and that's like what's stepping up the plot, because you can't just do the reboot. Like, you have to have a reason for doing the same thing twice. So you've got to, so you've got to escalate. So what are they
Absolutely.
going to
Yeah.
What are the
escalate
rules
to
of a
like
sequel?
make this movie like have a reason to exist beyond like, let's do something with Glenn Powell.
Let's do anything with Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
I mean,
And for those of us who have now watched the original Twisters, the scene that I was remembering with multiple Twisters from the original Twisters, I wasn't making up. There was at one stage 3 Twisters on screen in Twister.
Yeah, and it was spinning the car around. They
Yes.
And it was like,
around the car
it was
and
like
spun
one
it.
of the like big, monster versus man moments of the film. How many Twisters are there concurrently on the screen in Twisters?
At most.
There's 2, and then one
2.
dissipates very quickly.
There's 2 and they don't interact. They're just
Yeah.
like, oh, which one should we go for? Like, we'll just pick one.
is
Like
this-
it doesn't even pass the Bechdel test
Yeah.
of twisters.
I was going to say, what's the new Bechdel test for twisters? There were 2 twisters on screen. They didn't talk about any of the main characters. They didn't even interact.
Like the teams of people that they send out to hunt these twisters are also smaller. So there's less characters to get invested in. Like in the first one, I think there's like their twister hunting team, the good guys, is at least 8 people. In this one, I think we're down to about 6.
Yeah.
And they're all
Depending.
very lovable.
It's all
But-
interesting that, like, in original Twister, the good guys are like the rough nut tag team group of scallywags that have all been put together, and the evil guys are the corporates. But in this one, they kind of switched the narrative, and they're like, "Oh no, the good guys are these corporates, and the bad
Briefly.
guys are the
Yeah.
and then until
and then
spoilers.
plot happens.
But
Yeah.
also,
Plot.
they're so obvious with their symbolism that in the first one, the bad guys are the corporates who are driving around in black trucks,
yeah,
very very black trucks, and in
Led
this
by
one,
Evil Wesley.
yeah, it's led by Evil Wesley and a guy who dies so fucking harshly at the end of that film.
hmm
And then in the new one, it's like, no, the good guys are all in white and they're driving the electric powered Dodge Rams.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
Oh,
wait,
no.
Sorry,
vroom.
do not get me started on that fucking thing. That gave me the shits. But it was actually nice to go through and watch Twister, the original, and see that the red truck that Bill Paxton's character, whose name Bill, drives, is a Dodge Ram, and then now they're using Dodge Ram lithium-ion cars, except those cars that they're driving in the new one change gears and drive like and sound like petrol engines, and it's like, what? This is this is an electric car. It doesn't have gear changes.
Yeah.
It just goes. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're not trying to
They're
do
also
this.
silent.
Yeah.
Mm.
It doesn't have engine
Yeah.
noise. Like, what the
So
fuck are you
having a
talking about?
car that goes over a big bump and goes,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weird about it when you go back and you watch Twister. Exactly how many beats it just takes exactly
my
the
God.
same until a certain point in the movie. Like it is
Yeah.
literally.
Even it's like, oh, okay, before we get into the third act, let's go and rest and recuperate at the farm.
Yeah,
yep.
exactly.
But also the thing that got me, I was like, oh yeah, this is basically the same characters. We're just flipping gender here and there. You've got the big difference is that in the original there's the marriage rekindling plot, which is entirely missing in this one. But
Significantly more age appropriate.
yeah, well, yeah, and the yeah, well, we'll come to that. But the new wife character, who's the outsider who's seeing everything for the first time, is replaced by a reporter British reporter,
Mhm.
and his job to do the exact same thing. I couldn't believe it that the first time that they actually encounter a twister up close, they do exactly the same thing and hide under a fucking bridge. I was
Yes.
like, oh my fucking God, it's the same beats.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you
It's the
doing? Oh,
same
you're
beats,
making
but
it thematically the same.
it's the same beats, but because they're trying to up the ante with all of these beats, what kind of started off as like, this is a bit ridiculous, but like clean, fun storytelling with a tight cast of characters to get invested in, really kind of becomes a mess of but why.
And
Just a mess of but why. And I would say like the first, and like, oh my God, I could like write an essay. Like
go on.
it's bothered me a lot.
Yeah.
Mm.
I gotta say, there were a
Is
few
in love
moments,
it,
and
the buy of like, this is an expensive film.
Oh yeah.
I apologize to Quinny, whom I was sitting next to during Twisters, but I'm pretty sure there was a lot of times where I was yelling at the screen because the
There was.
female lead was doing a lot of stupid shit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was but why plot shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
And let's talk about the female lead for a bit and how we've set up the female lead in both of these films, because really this is not a Twister review, it's a Twister versus Twisters analysis.
Yeah, let's be honest here.
But I think anybody who saw Twisters, particularly me, I was fairly young when I saw it. I probably wouldn't have seen it at the cinema. I was only 12 when it came out, but I saw it.
I'm
when I
pretty
was
sure I
fairly
remember
young.
watching it on VHS.
And I have really vivid memories of a lot of the scenes in Twisted.
Yes.
It's so scary that I have that kind of imprint of horror on it, but I've got like vivid memories about a lot of it. And one of them is the very first scene where the young Helen Hunt, I've actually forgotten her character's name.
Joe.
Where Joe, as a child, has to go down into the tornado shelter with her parents during a massive tornado, and her dad gets is trying to hold the door closed for some reason, and essentially gets like ripped out and sucked away by the tornado, and it's like a massively traumatic experience for this child, which obviously becomes her motivation to be fascinated in these storms. And to want to study them and understand how they're happening so that people can get more warning. That was basically the goal, the movie level goal of that movie. Like they're scientists trying to figure out how twisters work so that people can have more warning for what they're doing and when they're coming to potentially save people and save lives. So that as kind of like a motivation for a character to be fascinated by twisters and to want to get closer to them, to understand them better, makes sense.
Yes.
We have attempted to do the same thing in Twisters by giving our much younger female character a traumatic event at the beginning of the film. But the traumatic event doesn't motivate her fascination with Twisters. She already has the fascination with Twisters because apparently, like, she's always just loved storms.
Yeah.
So, like, no real reason to be fascinated by
She's
Twisters.
a storm reading savant.
She's a storm reading savant. Not only does she love Twisters, she can, like, taste the air and knows when one is coming.
Yeah, and what's more, this is an innate thing that is there's nothing scientific about it. This is just something that she feels in her waters, in her gut, whatever.
It's like, oh, did you see the way that the wheat blew?
Swept
that
back.
means it's the storm's
Which
coming.
is very in keeping with the first Twister, but there's like something that really bugged me about it is that there's this kind of undercurrent of fuck science. Even though Glenn Powell's character is, has a PhD and stuff, Joe, not Joe, Kate, her character has not completed her PhD because she didn't need to. She was she was smart enough.
No, she didn't complete her PhD because trauma.
Yeah,
And,
well,
and,
yes.
and that's the thing, the difference between the trauma that has been experienced by these two female characters at the beginning of the film is that the trauma that happened in the original Twister completely motivated the characters' emotional and external story arc for the entire film, while being this like really cool scene where you got teased about the power of the Twisters without actually blowing like the big Twister shot, right? Like it's like this monster in the shadows that you can't see in that first scene. Lovely way to set up a creature feature. Whereas in the first scene of Twisters, yeah, just see the biggest fucking tornado that you're gonna see for most of the film.
rest of
Like
the film,
straight up, it's
Yeah.
right there.
Yep.
It's different approaches to storytelling, and there is one that I feel is more effective than the other.
Yep.
Because the goal for Kate isn't consistent through the whole film. The goal for Kate changes through the film and is motivated by the people around her for most of the film, and not actually what is happening with the Twisters. And it feels a lot less tight, as you know, in terms of storytelling because of that. Add to that the fact that we've got more characters thrown into the mix, more leading characters thrown into the mix that we're supposed to become emotionally attached to, and like we're using all of the devices used in the first Twister film, like for example, news readers, cutting to news readers to kind of tell us what's going on, but instead of teasing the approach of the monster like it does in the first Twister film, in Twisters, the newsreaders basically just hammer home this exposition of like, this is the biggest outbreak of Twisters ever. Instead of being like, oh, there's like a Twister in this county and it's happening, which is how the device is used in the first film. In the second film, it's just like the same. We've never seen this, ministers. It's an outbreak. What a big outbreak of Twisters. There's more Twisters than ever. Like, we understood that the first time it was really obviously told to us.
But also, even though this is the biggest outbreak of Twisters ever, and this is terrible, there is never once a question as to why. It's like, no, it couldn't possibly have anything to do with climate change. Couldn't have anything to do with, changing weather around the world or anything like that. No.
If there's one thing I learned from Twisters is that wind farms are dangerous, because if you're
Yes.
trying to just literally drive through fences and across people's private property in order to chase tornadoes, because that's what good old boys are allowed to do, the biggest danger you're going to have is those damn rickety wind farm blades getting ripped off by the tornado and thrown at your good old truck, which is doing its darndest to keep you alive while you do the most American thing ever, which is light fireworks into a tornado. I'm not making any of this up. This actually happens in
this
Twisters.
is all
happens in the film.
completely accurate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry as a spoiler, but like, yeah, there are fireworks that get let off
I
into a
mean,
fucking Twister.
Spoiler,
Like,
schmoiler.
come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's based on the plot of a film that was released 28 years ago.
But yeah, absolutely. But also, I love that there were things that it felt like someone in one of the drafts wanted to try and say something. And it was, the whole concept of Tyler being a YouTube superstar and Storm Chaser. Like, I think somebody was going to try and say something with that. And then over multiple drafts, actually, no, that's a lie. There weren't multiple drafts of this shit. After however long, that lost all of its meaning and it just became a side thing that he did. There was the fact that this sort of created celebrity thing was not really important to the plot or anything like that. It was just like, oh, okay, well, we need something that the young kids will understand.
Yeah.
Oh, and they've got a drone. And they're cool.
But they have ethnic diversity in this one, at least. Because let's be honest, in Twister, there's not a lot of ethnic diversity.
That's very true. Okay, point for Twisters. Point for Twisters.
Point for Twit, just the one.
But I would say that, like, when you look at the science aspect, or I guess not the science aspect, it's a movie, who cares, but the believability or the ability to suspend your disbelief for these movies in terms of like the overarching goal of, you know, Twister was study the storms, find out about them. How they were doing that was scientifically ridiculous, but you know, the premise of what they were attempting to do kind of like
It was simple
felt
enough to be
and-
believable. Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
We're trying to map a
Um,
thing.
Basically,
in this film, the goal, and again, not a spoiler, just part of the plot, the overarching goal is that she's trying to figure out how to kill a Twister. How to kill a Twister. And that just like, not only is it kind of like simple and believable enough that you're like, yeah, I'll get on board with this ridiculousness. Like, it's insanely unbelievable and actively makes it hard to get on board with what is happening.
I'm just
Yeah,
really.
we're gonna kill the Twister with microplastics.
I'm really,
Yeah.
I'm just really sad that they didn't have a quippy
Fucking is
line
too.
in there at the end, like "Smile, you son of a bitch," and then.
We needed just
Yeah.
one.
I just wish they'd brought back some of Philip Seymour Hoffman's lines from the first one. It's like, "Get put this in your suck zone."
Yeah, we didn't get suck zone this time.
Yeah, I know, very disappointing.
no, we definitely got a suck zone.
No, it was the whole film, wasn't it?
No, I swear in Twisters that they talked about the suck zone. Yeah, one minute he's driving and he's like, "Oh, we're in the suck zone now," and I was like, "It's 20 minutes into the film, man."
Oh.
That's why the journalist had to tighten his harness in case, because he was worried because they were entering the suck zone.
Because YouTube cameraman guy was
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, hey, you know, can we say before, like, we're getting onto it, and we can keep going if we go into the spoiler section because that's what it's for. But is there anything good about it? Like, come on, there's got to be some good stuff. I'll start. Like, you know, one, I felt a connection to this being a cow.
Are you happy that less cows were hurt in this?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was just tokenistic to put like me in the first one, and you know, taking me out and just showing more of rural good town America is better. And as it was mentioned in the chat a little bit earlier, yeah, made me hate country music more because the film kind of just hammered that drum. But overall, is Twisters a bad film? No, it's entertaining. It's kind of popcorny, but it's dumber and it's a little bit less interesting than the first one. Twister is a great movie. Twisters is not great. And now I'm supposed to be saying something positive. Shit. I mean, I was even sitting there going, even the footage that they used in Twister was better because they actually used some real footage of storms or the formations of storms. Whereas in this one, it felt very CGI and very kind of soundstagey. And that's a bit disappointing because, you know, what do you want to see? You want to see the monster, especially if you've already established it in a remake or a sequel. And in Twisters, it's kind of, they did a lot of like, oh, it's like this, it's chaos. You can't really see what's going on. I was like, but I want to. I want to see what's going on. I want to see them turn. And the inexplicable kind of ideas that they throw on it is just, you know, when one Twister turns into a fire tornado. Sorry, that's anyway. But it's because it eats some petrochemical plant that came out of nowhere. Where the fuck did that come from? It's no establishing shot. Not even like 5 minutes before going, oh, it's headed near this power station. That would have given it some sort of no. It's just not. It's nothing, and then it eats a power station. It's dumb.
Yeah.
But Glenn Powell's pretty.
He is. He's in an unthreatening way. I don't know what it
That
is
is
about.
the best way to describe it.
I don't know what it is about his face. He's charming and he's good to look at, but in that really non-threatening way. Yeah, he's not someone that you'd want to tear your clothes off for, but he's all right. Twisters, I think I enjoyed it. There were so many moments where I was screaming at it, just in moments of frustration because characters were making stupid choices. That was really difficult to grasp, and the pseudoscience was garbage. You're like, that's fucking bullshit. But all in all, I mean, for a popcorn movie, if you're gonna go and watch something for a bit of light entertainment, it's fine.
Just rewatch this today.
doesn't
Yeah,
does its job.
I honestly think that this is one of those ones that, like, if you have no knowledge of the original, you could watch
Sure.
this
Yeah.
and you would be like, oh yeah, that's a lot of fun, because it is basically the same film. Like, and there are literally beat after beat after beat that happen in the same order. There is a nighttime twister that comes through and has the same impact as the first one. One happens to be at a rodeo, one happens to be at the fucking drive-in theater. There's the one where the extra twisters come out, and there's one where a twister comes down and then it disappears. And there's so many of the same beats. I was just like, oh Jesus. Because it's literally been probably 20 something years since I've seen the first one. And today, when I watched the first one again, I was like, oh, so we've just remade it. I mean,
but worse. We
but worse.
With more money and worse.
More money, better technology, and yet somehow.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's
why? That's what I'm like. Why? I think what gets to me about it as well is, reading some interviews with the director of Twisters, I feel like part of the motivation was to raise awareness of how dangerous these storms can be to these communities, and the work that people do to kind of help each other out when this happens. But I had the distinct impression while watching the film that, like, fuck, this is like really making light entertainment of something that is like really fucking serious to people.
If you want to raise
and
awareness
really
about
fucking
tornadoes,
devastating.
make a fucking documentary.
Oh, and that's the thing. And I kind of, I guess because of the tone of this, because I wasn't on board with it, I really got this distinct impression of, like, should we be like making fun of these things? Like, should we be making a fun action movie of this? And I feel like the difference when I rewatched Twister was because it felt to me like a smaller, more personal story. It felt more to me, and because the motivation was different, it was to find out about the storms so that they could warn people. You actually do kind of get a better sense of, like, things in this movie are ridiculous, but now, as somebody who doesn't really understand anything about tornadoes, I have a basic understanding of, like, these are fucking devastating storms that are super unpredictable and can happen really, really quickly and devastate communities. And that is kind of like a real thing that happens in places in the world all the time, and that's not fun or funny at all. And there's something, again, more about, like, the approach to the story in Twister that I guess didn't offend my sensibilities in terms of making fun of something that is actually fucked up a lot of people's lives. Just the approach to the story, the smaller story, the more personal, the intimacy of the original, I guess, as opposed to, like, the fireworks in a Twister approach to Twisters.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then maybe I'm just looking to be offended by things at that point because I was having so little fun.
Yeah. I do remember at one point, and I don't, it's not a spoiler, but I do, there was a point where both the two lead characters were looking at a twister, and they were talking about, like, one of them was saying how they'd looked at a twister when they were young and they were in awe of it. And then one of the other ones was like, yeah, I looked at a twister and I wasn't scared. And my mom was all like, oh, you weren't ever scared. You kind of were in awe. And I leaned across and said to Jill, I think it was, they're totally going to fuck in a tornado one day.
Yes.
Like, they're going to have weird tornado sex, and it's going to be like, and that's the
that
feeling that I
definitely
got.
was the undertone the entire film.
If
The
this
entire
movie
film. He
wasn't
is
so
in his 30s.
aggressively
They were playing
PG.
her as in her early 20s. Like,
Yeah.
like she was at uni 5 years ago, basically.
Yeah.
And-
It icked me.
Yeah.
Movie was
Really
so
is.
aggressively PG though.
Should we do a quick rating and then come back for spoilers? Should we do like
Yeah,
rating and a
it's
clip?
easier to
Come
talk
on.
about it with
Yeah,
spoilers.
we'll go through this. I'm going to give this 65 spins out of 100.
Right.
I'd
Okay.
rather go and watch Twister again.
Yeah.
I did watch Twister again.
Yeah.
We all did. We all watched it. This movie is a great movie to make you want to go back and watch Twister.
That was 65 from you, Dion. Thank you.
Yes.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna go 60 because I did still enjoy it. The parts that made me angry and the aggressive PG-ness of it with like no sexual tension payoff. Yeah, 60. But like, I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's okay. It's aggressively average. That's
Yeah.
Pete. Do you have a numerical value for me?
I mean, I wouldn't usually go below 50 unless something has like offended me.
I
But
feel
in a
like
way,
this has.
offended me.
Yeah.
It has caused a reaction, Peter.
In a way, this has offended me. In terms of like my sensibilities, in terms of like who gets to do this kind of storytelling with all of this money and why are they doing it? Like just because you can doesn't mean you should. And like, you know, cool effects, like the performances were good. Like it's the scaffolding that was bad. Everyone did a good job, but I'm gonna give it 40.
Fair enough.
Because it's bad storytelling, it's bad scaffolding. I don't want to reward that.
Yeah.
Q, did you give it a rating yet?
No, I did not. I think I'm probably closer with Pete. I do think that there's a lot of people who would watch this and get popcorn entertainment out of it. And will probably have a kind of, that was fun. And if you've never watched the original, you probably go, oh, that was something I haven't seen before. And for those people, I'm more than happy for them. Great, you've got a dumb popcorn movie. But I got angry at it because it was aggressively anti-science. It was like, for a scene of a fucking rodeo, there were 1,000 white 10-gallon hats and not a single MAGA hat in there. And yet I know that this is one of those things that is aiming at that, you know, Midwestern Republican crowd, going, yeah, it's good to be a YouTuber who chases storms and fires these things because also you're smart and you get the young girl. And yeah, I don't know, something about it, like you, Pete, it icked me. And then rewatching the original, I was like, oh, wow, right, okay, it's just a fucking remake. So yeah, for me, it's a 45.
Can I lead into the clip with a fun fact?
Go for it.
Yes, Twister facts.
Twister facts, but actual Twister facts, because I was watching it on Prime and like the X-ray function when somebody's actually filled in the trivia is fun. The
Nice.
cow apparently was a CGI zebra from Jumanji that they repurposed.
That's
It's a
what
very bendy cow.
that's what
Also, the growls that the Twisters made, which makes it very much a monster film, were camel calls slowed down
Okay.
because the Twisters in Twister like growl. like
Oh
monsters.
yeah.
Yeah.
cool.
Camels.
Like by the time you
Fun.
get to the end of the first Twister, where they're trying to hide in like a shed, it actually turns into a comedy. Because there's a point where they go into a barn, like they're physically running from a Twister through like a cornfield. They run into a barn. Meanwhile, behind them, a paling fence is being ripped out one by one. The palings are being shot at them through the wall, and they run into a barn filled with knives.
It is such a classic moment.
Like,
Yeah.
and they look
Just like
around
that
at
note
scythes and
moment.
knives, and one of them goes, "Oh hell no!"
The suck zone is arbitrary, by the way.
Oh yeah.
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 Speaking of Suck Zone, here's a clip from Twisters, and then we'll come back and do spoilers, okay?
What do you see?
It already has a nice structure. Moisture levels are just right and lots of cape.
What else are you seeing?
Flow is clean, pulling tons of warm, moist air from the south.
And when that warm air and moisture busts through the cap, it explodes in the atmosphere, creating an anvil. The vertical wind shear begins to rotate the updraft, forming a mesocyclone.
And here's the mystery.
We don't know how a tornado forms. We see the hook on the radar, but
What are all the invisible factors coming together? Every little detail that
it has to be perfect. And it's a mix of what we know and everything we can't understand. It's part science, part religion. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, please. Come on. Please. Come on.
There it is. Yeah, baby!
Here we go.
You see that? That's a tornado right there, baby. Get some photos of that,
The
man.
birth of a tornado, nature's masterpiece.
Not moving indicates.
Yeah, sexy fucking tornadoes. We get to see live birth of tornadoes thanks to Glenn Powell and have a whole bunch of YouTubes. Anyway, back now. Oh, wait, I got to put up the spoilery things.
Okay.
We've been dropping spoilers.
There you go.
all
Yeah,
over
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, we haven't dropped any of the big spoilers. Like the plot points are.
And we haven't even mentioned Anthony Ramos.
Yeah, true.
Like,
Is he worth mentioning?
I mean, why
and
wouldn't you?
Superman?
He's the closest thing we have to Carrie Elwes in this film. So.
Why wouldn't
No,
they make a plot point out of the fact that he basically borrowed DARPA technology from the military to use in a civilian project and basically treats it like a military operation, but everyone's like, oh, no, he's getting money from a property developer. I'm like, he's not. He's getting money from the fucking military. But we're going to gloss over all that because he's not a bad dude at heart. And then...
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Who
at heart.
Which one of you pointed it out really? Sorry, I've forgotten. Someone pointed it out very honestly that he straight up murders a dude at the end.
Straight up murders Superman, and like nobody says anything about it. But it's incredible.
Is that Superman? Is that the new Superman?
That's new Superman.
That's
it?
Corin Sweat.
Is it not new Superman?
David, holy shit, that's David Corin Sweat.
Yeah. Anyway, he murders Superman. So he does like.
Wow.
So he did the reverse. What was the one?
He was giving Clark Kent in this movie.
Oh yeah, powerful Clark Kent. Serving
It's like
Clark.
such like an obvious one note. This guy's bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
it's a bad guy.
I mean, but one of the greatest things I think about Twisters is that everyone in Twisters knew what movie they were in. Like, no one was playing anything like, this is going to revolutionize the Twister genre. Like, no. They were all just kind of like, I'm here for the paycheck. Give me my paycheck.
If Kate's mum had been...
Who's my favorite character, by the way?
Yeah.
the whole
Oh,
film.
yeah. So
But
if
what did she
Kate's mum
farm?
had... What?
What did the farm make?
Farm stuff, Dion. Shut up.
I mean, at
Don't
least I liked in Twister where, you know, it's like, oh, where did you get all this beef? He's like, did you see my cows out front? I got that one. This one, I'm like, she has a farm. What does she make? Stuff. Farm. We make farm
But
here.
if she had been Helen Hunt, would it have made the film better or worse?
Worse.
Yeah, because it was a wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
No, I actually think that she was literally the best thing about the film.
Yeah.
She was brilliant. Those moments were lovely, but it didn't save it for me because then it like connected it to that like this like weird, ridiculous science plot that just like takes it to such a weird place.
Was it Jill? Was it who said using microplastics?
Yeah,
It didn't even occur to me that that's what they're doing.
With microplastics, like let's just shoot microplastics into the atmosphere and kill tornadoes.
Oh, but also then to fire a bit of silver. Was it silver iodide?
Yeah.
Oxide? I don't know. Silver something.
Why were we paying attention? They could have said whatever.
Blah blah blah.
They could have.
science,
No, I
science,
mean,
science.
They
like,
could have just said like fire Tide Pods into there, and everyone would have been like,
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, that's actually accurate, true, and yes, they silver iodide or silver whatever it is, they do actually use for seeding clouds. That is a way to make things rain. That is a scientific thing, but the rest of it's fucking idiocy. And I got so annoyed that you know people that were set up as like, okay, these people are the smartest ones. Here we've got PhD candidates or PhDs from all of the top schools. Oh, by the way, they're the bad guys. The hillbillies over here who are all driving by heart and listening to their music and running people off the roads and stuff, they're actually the good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did make me very annoyed. It's just science and people from out of town bad, but you know, people from country good.
Good old boys, good.
Yeah. I mean, I like
property
the
developers bad.
I like
but
the
We're going to
character.
forget that entire plot line, by the way.
I like the journey of Kate's character. It's Kate, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Going from stuck-up New Yorker suit-weared person to like Twister Tomb Raider by the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, costume
I
stuff. was
loved
like,
her trauma outfit at the beginning of the film. Cut to 5 years later, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, so she's like wearing her like very, very
Power suit.
plain, boring power suit with a very, very plain, boring haircut because obviously she's trauma quit her cool job and become a boring person now.
Yes,
Well, I mean,
because
if-
all of her friends are dead.
Yeah, if you kill all your friends, including your partner, within the first 10 minutes because of a thing you were trying to do, you probably would be like, what do you do? Nothing. I sit in a fucking office now and I shut the fuck up.
Yep.
But all it takes
But then,
is...
like the second, it's like, oh, do you want to like run back into a tornado? Oh yeah, sure, I'll do that.
She had a real people pleaser attitude about her. She
Yeah.
could have just said, "No, I've got a job here now," and she's like, "Oh, I guess I need to use my savant skills to help you. I guess I'll do it."
See,
And then she's there, and then she's like, "Oh, I guess I have to stay and keep doing this because I said I would."
having to compare this to like what I think is one of the greatest sequels of all time, Aliens. You know, same thing.
Also starring
You know,
Bill
somebody-
Paxton.
Yes, exactly. That in that one, Ripley has been through massive trauma, has faced down the evil monster and stuff like that, and then she doesn't want to go back. Like she does everything in her power to not fucking go back, and face things down. But then she's, you know, finds out that people are going to die if she doesn't, and so he has to go back in. And this, I felt like they were trying to do that, but it just was shit and didn't work. I was like, oh, fuck. But yeah, when she became action Kate in the end, I was just, that was really offensive.
Yeah. Real progression of his outfits.
Including a shoulder
I think
holster
the
that
biggest problem
carried not a gun, a camera. Because she was still
Which,
shooting tornadoes.
I mean, Helen Hunt does have a camera in the first one as well. That's like
Yeah, but she doesn't have a holster. Like, there's a whole thing about, you know, we fire like ammunition into a tornado and it's action oriented and we drive a car. Like, come on.
We had to make her look tactical. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can drone strike the tornadoes. Like, what the fuck, man? This is just kind of, what are you talking about?
Do you know, like, I feel like the biggest problem with this film is that it doesn't know it's a monster movie.
Mm.
Like Twister is Godzilla. Twisters is trying to be Armageddon.
I thought
like,
Twister was
they're not the same
I thought
thing.
Twister was Jaws.
Well, pick one.
Yeah, it's a monster film, and it's like, and it's funny because when you look at it that way, you see the way that they shoot the monster, and the way that it picks people off, and the way that it kind of stalks around. You're like, oh yeah, it's totally a fucking monster film.
But playing into broadly what Twisters do, like they can jump over things. They are super, super unpredictable. It can be, you know, like your house is right next door to one that got completely totaled, and yours is fine. So there is like a feasibility in it that makes you want to get on board with that creature.
I mean, what do they call it? Finger of God?
Yeah. Well, that's just it. They set up so much great mythology in that first one. Like, you know, the idea that an F5 or whatever it is the finger of God, and that there's a point where the twister goes away and they're like, oh, it's the finger of silence or something of silence. And you're like, oh yeah, there's this build up. And this one, it's just, it's another twister. Oh, now there's two twisters together, and oh, there's a fire twister, but nobody even really calls that out as being that exciting.
Like, I feel like if you need so badly to tell the audience explicitly at every point in the plot exactly what's going on and how bad it is, you are failing at action and suspense. Like, if in like the biggest, most dangerous, holy shit, everybody is going to die moment in the movie, you have to yell, "This movie theater isn't built to withstand what's coming."
Yeah.
It fails.
Yeah, especially as it's
In
crumbling
action and
around you.
suspense.
Mm.
Like it's
And that's
obvious.
like the nicer thing again about the first one is that like that big moment at the end was the two main characters. Like it's that small story thing, right? Like it's the two main characters. They've done what they need to do, but are these people that we're now totally on board with going to survive, and are they going to survive together? Like the biggest moment of tension at the end of the film is that. Whereas this is kind of like, oh, one wayfish white girl has to rescue everyone by firing a nuke at the asteroid. I mean, firing some Tide Pods in a tornado. Like,
I love that that's now what this is about.
Yep.
And it's funny because you hit the end of Twister and it's a personal peril moment. And they build that moment up, like they're running through the cornfield, they're running through, and like they're being attacked by fucking palings, and then there's a house of swords and tiny little thing, and you're like, oh, that's never going to survive. And they're literally looking into the eye of the storm and looking up into this monster. They are face to face with the monster, personally, mano a mano, as it were. And in this one, it's just like she gets in a truck, and
we kind of
does the thing that we've already seen them kind of do in the first one.
Yeah, and it drills the dumb earth, and then they release the pods. And
Is there such thing as an eye of the storm in a tornado? Because they are quite small, or is that just like a cyclone hurricane thing?
Oh, but this was like the biggest tornado.
Well, Jill,
Like,
as a meteorologist, I can confirm that there is definitely an eye in all. I
because
don't know.
I'm gonna bring another player into the chat the storm.
Oh, so they were talking about this in the chat before.
Yeah,
wait, let me get my teacup.
Because they very particularly did do Eyes of the Storm in that one. And I'm pretty sure it was just tornadoes.
Yeah, a rash of tornadoes striking the fictional town of Silverton, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
From 2014, so 10 years ago.
With Richard Armitage, if anybody's seen that one. Because there was another thing of people hiding under something, and then it's like, oh, it's over. And they go to leave, like, no, it's the Iron Storm. And then it starts up again, they get sucked away.
I've not seen it, but now I feel like I kind of
I think, for some additional viewing, go and watch that one.
I mean, are there any other good storm like movies? I mean, there's The Perfect Storm, but that's about the ocean, not like I'm still kind of disappointed. I was expecting for this that we would get a point where they're like either, as I said it on the way out, either a tornado the size of an entire state, or 5 tornadoes all at once.
That's what Twisters implies to me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes.
In fact, all of the marketing material and is them running away from 2 twisters or 1 twister in the background, and then they're looking in fear at something else, which indicates that there is going to be multiple twisters, and that is not what happens.
Hurricanes, cyclones, and typhoons are all much larger and
those are the ones that have eyes.
Yeah. And tornadoes are just kind of little baby ones.
Yeah, they're little bitches. Let's make movies about these cyclones.
And in Australia, we get fire tornadoes, little whirling things that come from bushfires.
Mm-hmm.
Which are cool. I wanted, they did the fire tornado here, but I was like, okay, let's go for ham on this one. Have your twister that is the big twister, and it goes through the refinery, and you got your fire tornado. And then have another one that goes through the water and becomes a giant fucking water spout, and then they come together.
And then they become twins.
Exactly. And then they're the most destructive tornado that the world's ever seen.
Yeah, like
and
a
it's
fire
amazing.
and ice tornado.
Exactly. It's Scorpion and
God, we
Sub-Zero.
just wrote the next film.
And then let's have another one that just turns out to be one of those little car park ones that dust bowls up and brings up.
Oh, but that's the one, Jill. It looks like the weakest, but that's the one that's the strongest of them all. And now we're mashing it up with fantasy romance.
Yes.
I just want to see. I want to see like the children of these people just there, and every now and again a little wisp happens that it goes near them, and then it gets bigger and bigger throughout the whole thing, and then it starts hunting them down one by one. You know,
Like this little Willy Willy that just joins them as a child.
yeah,
And then
just picks them up and throws them into a tree, and they break their arm. That's it for a while, and then they grow up a bit older, and like, I swear I'm being hunted by this thing.
I love it. The tornado's in the house.
Dear.
See, that's what we need. We need them to really get stuck into the whole horror vibe of this.
The phone ring and so you answer and you see whoosh.
And then at some point later on in the film, they have to pull the mask off the Twister. And it turns out it's Skeet Ulrich.
You leave Skeet Ulrich alone.
Heart.
Deep
Love it.
cut.
Love it. I hope someone's writing
Oh
this
my
down.
God, yes, Karina, it follows, but it's a tornado.
You turn around and it's just a tornado go. Doo, 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 doo.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Go and watch
that
Twister.
scene infinitely better than the film.
Like if this has given me anything, it has given me watching Twister again and going,
Yeah.
that is actually a decent piece of like cinema that deserves more cult status than it.
Yeah, you know what? Twister lived in my memory as being fantastic, and all I could recall from it was the cow scene. And when I rewatched it, and I was like, "Fuck, this is the same movie I watched last week."
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
somehow.
And more sort of rollicking and enjoyable. Like the musical choices in it are all very, Disney
No
adventure
Van
stuff.
Halen in this one.
Oh. And I mean, yeah, okay.
Do you mean
as,
Van
somebody in
Morrison
the
or
chat just-
Van Halen?
Van Halen did 5 songs on the original soundtrack. for
Oh, because
Twister.
there's also a Van
my
Morrison
God.
song at the start there. I was like,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah,
But
no, the
as-
original soundtrack is great. There was definitely a moment in Twisters where I'm like, have they ripped off the Oklahoma theme song? Because I can hear Oklahoma right now.
Probably. Yeah.
Too literal, guys. Take it down.
Yeah, yeah. As Tara said though, and I do agree. I think there is a thing that we've had a lot of tornado films in the interim, in between
mean,
26 years.
Sharknadoes?
Correct.
Because Sharknado is a whole beast unto itself.
Absolutely. What are they up to now? 8, 10? I don't know.
Can't remember.
I just love that Iron Ziering keeps getting employed, and Tara Reid to a lesser degree. But anyway, yeah. Look, it is what it is. Some things that I keep forgetting that we should shout out to you all out there, those of you who are listening. If you enjoy what we do, please go to either Spotify or to the iTunes. Leave a review.
Apple Podcasts.
I'm sorry,
now,
what?
it's
Quinny?
Apple Podcasts.
iTunes.
It's called Apple Podcasts.
Our Apple Podcast. Fuck yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. It's been a long time since I did one of these.
Write a letter to your congressman and tell them that.
If you could hit like and subscribe. Oh, hang on. Yeah, well, you can hit like and
Hit that
subscribe on
bell.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Smash that subscribe button. And if you feel like you can donate to the Patreon. No, we don't have a Patreon. We do have a
You
Ko-Fi
still
though.
got Kofi?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Buy us a
but-
Ko-Fi if you can. That's great. Or not. It's
That
fine.
would be lovely. But something that would be really, really helpful to us is to get a few reviews up there on Apple Podcasts, but also on Spotify, because the more
Anyway.
of those that we get, people actually get to see what we do a little bit more. So it would be really helpful if you could do that for
Or
us.
click on one of the links in the ads that we've got running in Twitch or YouTube and just maybe buy something. I don't know. What was tonight? Tonight's one was a brawn shaver. If you need a shaver for
Really?
your loved one and you want to buy one, I just noticed
Father's
one
Day
there,
is
yeah.
coming up. Father's Day is coming up in September.
This was very definitely marketed at feminine hair removal. So, like,
Oh,
sure.
right.
all
But
right.
I mean,
well,
hey, get it for your dad anyway. I don't think it's gendered. It's just cutting hair. Everyone has hair. It doesn't cut differently depending on whether or not you've got certain genitalia. It all cuts the same.
And then we can go and watch some more aggressively average movies so you don't have to.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Speaking of aggressively average things that you don't have to, what are we doing next week?
oh, yeah.
One single Star Wars.
Aggressively average Star Wars next week.
No. Be fair.
So my choice to dip out of this is not a bad one.
Oh God, come on, Pete. You know you want to. I know that it's a Star Wars TV show. You love Star Wars. Everyone loves Star Wars.
Everyone does love Star Wars, but there are only like 24 hours of a day.
I really wish they'd lent real hard into it being a sci-romantasy because I would have been on board, but it got a little bit boring towards the end.
We haven't even finished yet.
Hey.
Yeah.
May as well have.
Yeah. There's definitely some.
Anyway,
we'll have a lot to talk about. So yeah, next week we are talking about
the Acolyte.
And we'll also in the next week be going and seeing some Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
And some of us are even going to go and watch Transformers 1, the new animated film, which may or may not be also terribly awful, but who knows?
Who knows? There's plenty of stuff.
Very child friendly, that one.
It does look very child friendly, and I'm not entirely sure that that's what I want. But I'm good. There is a screening. So it doesn't come out until September, so that's why we're not going to be reviewing it anytime soon. But there is a screening of it happening in Sydney next week, which I believe I may be watching, but we'll see.
And speaking of other things, if you want us to review something, let us know.
Yes.
Yeah, because we've got stuff. Usually we're just out there going, okay, what have we watched? What can we see? But if there's something specifically you want us to talk about, tell us. We'll probably do it.
Write us an email, info@theperiodictableofawesome.com. Or if you do want to send us audio clips and stuff, we will play them. Even if they're of films that you've watched that we've reviewed in the past, we will play them. We actually want to hear from you. I know we hear from you in the chat, and you're very funny, and we like you. But sometimes we'd love to hear your voices too.
Sure. Yeah, do that. I don't have anything funny or any music to go out on today because it was Twisters. I could just play a twist again.
I was going to say, there are quite a few twist options that you could have gone with.
Yes. We don't have anything for the end of the show? What a twist.
What a twist.
What a twist.
Also, if anyone's in Sydney on the weekend, you're looking for something to do.
Yes.
Smash Convention's on.
You'll find me on a stage.
Into the anime?
Yep.
Come on down to the ICC.
Who are you going to see there?
I'll be there. Quinny will be
Jill's
there.
going to be there?
Yep.
Quinny's going to be there? I'll be standing outside heckling because I'm not allowed into that building anymore, but that's fine.
It's a legal thing.
Yeah. It's a legal matter. It's not my problem. I didn't make the second restraining order.
Yeah. Though you kind of did in a way.
No, I didn't write that. I didn't write the document. I didn't submit it to the courts.
I'll be talking to Hayashi Yu.
Get that right.
Yeah, I know. Right? I'm gonna not fuck that up on the day. And I may be doing some unboxing, which is going to be a weird thing. But yeah, Hayashi Yu, who is a very well-known voice actor.
So for a second, I thought you were going to put on gloves and be in the ring doing an unboxing. I'm like, how does that work?
You
go backwards.
Yeah.
You take the punches back.
Yeah. So yeah, make sure you come along if you are in the city of Sydney.
Yay.
Cool.
That's good.
Thanks everybody.
That's the end of it, and we're going to go away now. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next
everybody.
time. Go and watch Acolyte.
Next week?
Because it'll be fun.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye.
I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. Deep-powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have 'em teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. When martial arts from iron fist and wall, I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell